I think that's what life is about. Truly finding yourself, and then closing your eyes and dying in your sleep. Finding yourself and finding other things, but finding yourself is one of the things, though, for sure.
Welcome to the night section. Juice Wrld was only 21 years old when he tragically passed away back in 2019. Now, we've all heard the saying that legends die young, and it seems that Juice Wrld already knew what was in the cards for him, foreshadowing his death, whether he consciously knew it or not at the time, in his music with lyrics like, "What's the 27 club? We ain't making it past 21." And if you know those lyrics, they're from his song Legends, though at the time of writing the song, he was thinking about his deceased peers, both XXXTentacion and Lil Peep. It was clear that those lyrics came from a place of acceptance, that he too might be next, and unfortunately, not too long after, he was. However, in the short time that he was here, he made an impact in the world of music and in the world period in ways he couldn't have possibly imagined. And what differentiated him from other artists was him being unapologetically open and vulnerable, not only in his music, but also in interviews.
I have like a big heart, so when I like care for somebody, I guess after a certain extent I care like really hard. You know, and I put my all into some shit that I probably had no business putting my all into. So that's just like, it kind of leads you on the path of like distraction.
Today, I wanted to honor Juice Wrld in the ways that made him an absolutely undeniable talent. Everything from his skill and ability, to his creativity and originality, to his openness and vulnerability that made him a one of one. All the reasons why I think Juice Wrld's legacy will never be forgotten.
The black kid, I spit heat fast like a crackhead. Thinking that you in it, but you don't know this. Focus, now I got ADD, now I swarming like locusts. Who is this? Making hand signs like he deaf or something. That's okay, I be on the beat, spitting fast like Crystal left or something. Really is nothing, making assumptions is nothing. Bake you and put you in the oven for no reason or something.
Number 1, musical genius. I don't think Juice Wrld really has gotten enough credit, at least in the mainstream, for the actual genius he is. We can speculate that perhaps it was because he wasn't alive long enough for us to really see the full extent of his abilities. But what he's shown in the almost 2 years that he was on was more than enough to convince anybody that we were witnessing a legend in the making. Obviously, a legend isn't made in one day, nor is talent, but with Juice Wrld, it was a little bit different. Now, Juice Wrld is from Chicago. He was born Gerard Anthony Higgins on December 2nd, 1998 in Chicago, Illinois. And when we talk about his upbringing and childhood, he seemed to always have a natural inclination towards music. According to GQ, quote, Juice's talent showed as far back as kindergarten. Carmela Wallace, his mother, signed him up for music lessons when he was 6, and after witnessing his ability to memorize songs and pick up instruments in a matter of days, educators began telling her that her son had a knack, end quote. He's also described in several interviews that growing up, he was listening to various types of music because his mother essentially barred him from listening to any type of hip-hop due to her being religious and being afraid that Juice would end up like the around them, and deemed gospel, pop, and rock more appropriate. It was when Juice Wrld was around his cousins that he'd be able to listen to hip-hop. This explains why his musical influences spanned from the Billy Idols to the Chief Keefs. Now, fast forward to 2015 is when he really started to take music seriously and uploaded his first song onto SoundCloud titled Forever under the moniker Juice the Kid. This was the beginning to the inevitable blow-up and would eventually change his moniker to what we know him today as Juice Wrld. Now, 2017 was the real game changer, connecting with producer Nick Mira from the Internet Money team, collaborating on several songs from then onward, with their first song together being Too Much Cash. And the rest was history, because the following year he'd be catapulted to stardom with the song Lucid Dreams, which was originally released the year before with his 999 EP on SoundCloud, but re-released due to its popularity. Now, mix a song with production from Nick Mira, a Sting sample, a lyrical Lemonade video, and Juice Wrld's emotionality and the lyricism, it was guaranteed to become a worldwide phenomenon. And what was interesting about the song is that Lucid Dreams was one of the songs Juice Wrld actually wrote, which took no more than 20 minutes. And today, Lucid Dreams is 9 times platinum, which was an incredible feat in itself. But what I wanted to specifically highlight is the fact that Juice Wrld was known to not write lyrics and freestyle full songs straight off the top, which is 100% believable after witnessing him freestyle for an hour on Tim Westwood TV, not once but twice, where the first time he actually went for over an hour. And we're talking actual freestyling, as in making up sentences and phrases on the fly with no pre-writtens. There might have been a couple of premeditated bars here and there, but Juice Wrld would form actual coherent phrases and bars for an hour straight just off the top of his head. Now, his second studio album, Death Race for Love, according to Juice Wrld, was also said to be freestyled from top to bottom, in which I would assume he would just punch in lines for each section of the song. Again, it's not easy to do. It takes a level of brain activity that you won't find on the average person. So I definitely see the genius that he had, especially at such a young age. And don't take my word for it, let a legend in the game tell you.
Shout out to Juice too, man. Like, yo, that kid was so talented, man. He, like, his freestyle he did on Westwood where he rapped for an hour, like, what the fuck? And I mean, he was like he might have been mixing a little bit of written in there with, but the way he was like, that's the shit that we used to try to do at the hip hop shop, was like try to work on our freestyles, right? But to be able to slip in and out of written when you need to, you know what I'm saying? If you got a certain punchline you want to get to take out this dude, right? So to be so young, he like mastered that so fucking quickly. Yeah, it's really sad, man, that like his potential was so off the charts.
Eminem is not the only person to have acknowledged his ability. Plenty of artists that Juice has worked with, like Lil Yachty, have said that Juice Wrld would literally make entire songs in one take. These songs wouldn't even just be rough drafts, they would all come out as hit songs.
Juice did that. My friend Benny worked with Juice. Yeah. And would say he would go in the booth, go 3 minutes over the beat, and it'd be a hit. And then he'd say, okay, another one. And then he'd go 3 minutes over the beat and it'd be a different hit. Shit. And then he'd be like, just pick whatever version you want.
He would tell Benny to cut it up?
Yeah, no, not even cut it up. Just like pick, like, which hit do you want? Because like he would just do it. He freestyle. The whole song is freestyled.
Ugh.
Hits.
Ugh.
Like smash hits.
It's clear that we were dealing with genius level talent because of the ease Juice had in creating songs that would connect with millions of people, which goes into my next point of why Juice WRLD's legacy will never be forgotten. Number 2, emotional connection. Unlike a lot of rappers, Juice WRLD was a part of the new school generation, along with the XXXTentacions and Lil Peeps, that were very candid about their mental health issues. Juice WRLD would talk about his mental health and emotions through his music and wasn't ever afraid to go there and acknowledge that he sometimes feels vulnerable, which was unheard of and still is for the most part when we talk about mainstream hip-hop artists, if you even really consider him hip-hop. This is why he was able to connect with so many different people across the globe, coming from various backgrounds. He gave a voice particularly to young men who often struggle seeing their feelings and emotions be validated and represented. He showed that it was okay to feel. And what was so genius about his approach in creating these songs is, for the most part, he would incorporate pop and rock elements to it, adding a lot of melody to his cadence so you can really feel what he was saying. Because, I mean, it's cool to rap about your emotions, but the masses truly feel that shit when you sing it. Not to mention, he would talk about subjects like substance abuse, along with his mental health struggles, and also heartbreak, hence why Lucid Dreams was such a big deal. Because everyone deals with heartbreak, and one of the reasons why it worked so well, once again, was because it was coming from a dude.
But like, I feel like as far as like, I didn't know that many people was gonna be able to relate to heartbreak. It surprised me how many people related to that song. You know, like,
everybody has their heartbroken.
But they don't talk about it.
But a lot of people don't.
Especially
talk
guys.
about it, though.
Girls talk about it, but guys don't do songs expressing how heartbroken they were and all of that. They don't do that.
We used to have to be tough. So
I'm saying, but being a real nigga, like if you 100% a real nigga, that means you're not afraid to show your emotions. It's a balance. It's a balance of everything. It's not just toughness. You feel me? Like you gotta really. It's a balance of all attributes.
When we talk about emotional connection, we have to talk about his lyricism as well. In many songs, what he would say was profound and dealt with real-life personal experiences, with lyrics like, quote, "Look my girl in her eyes, tell her I won't die. I fell asleep too deep that one time, woke up to your cry, girl I'm fine, but I lied in the dream, I wasn't gonna wake up this time." And this was from the song Burn, based on a true story in reference to substance abuse. Ali Lottie, his fiance, explained, quote, "I used to cry my eyes out to the song before he even passed away because of how personal it is. It was about a dream he had while we were in Germany. I was trying to wake him up because he would have jolts and shit in his dream. And I was like, get the F up, like screaming. I meant scream woke him up. But he told me later he never woke up from the dream, and that's why he made the song, end quote. And this is just a small instance of Juice's vulnerability in his songs. But almost every single song he's ever created, he bared out his heart, at least in some capacity, and said what was weighing on his chest. And for that reason alone, makes him unforgettable. I mean, it's the ability to transfer your emotions through song for other people to then listen and internalize, or rather, relate to those feelings, which is powerful. And lastly, we have number 3, originality, which is stating the obvious. I'm not going to go ramble too much about this, but we know Juice Wrld was one of one. Everything from his sound to his message to the way he carried himself, not only as a man but a human being, period, and the immense love he had for all of his fans and supporters. Juice Wrld's legacy will never ever be forgotten. Rest in power, King. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if you'd like to see more content like this. Night Section out.